everyone. Good afternoon to all. SGTech has been appointed by IMDA to run the vendor briefing sessions since May 2019. SMEs Go Digital program is a national program administered by IMDA together with sector agencies to support digitalization for SMEs across 23 sectors as specified in the Industry Transformation Maps, ITM. For today's briefing, we will cover the pre-approval process for new and reapplication vendors. After that, we will introduce other programs such as CTO-as-a-Service and an introduction to SGTech. Depending on how long the Q&A will take, we are expecting the entire session to take about an hour. Firstly, the SME landscape. Today, SMEs constitute 99% of the local enterprises, which makes up 2/3 of the national workforce and contribute to close to 50% of the GDP. So what is the definition of an SME? Based on Enterprise Singapore's definition, a company's group annual sales turnover should not be more than 100 million, or the company group's employment size is not more than 200 workers. The major concerns encountered by SMEs in their respective businesses are rising costs, especially for businesses in sectors which require rental of physical space, high turnover of staff, and that staff might not have sufficient knowledge or are not tech-savvy enough to handle complex software. The purpose of SMEs Go Digital program is to make going digital as simple as these 3 steps. Firstly, SMEs can assess digital readiness of their business from Chief Technological Officer as a Service or CTO-as-a-Service platform, a one-stop web application, and refer to the industry digital plan for the different sectors. This is a step-by-step guide that helps SMEs to assess and adopt suitable digital solutions depending on the stages or readiness of their businesses. Support from the support from the consultancy services at Digital Tech Hub has retired, and it has been succeeded by CTO-as-a-Service. Next, IMDA will guide SMEs to take the first steps with useful industry knowledge. Then you as a vendor would know what are the solutions needed and what are the new sectors to be added in. As such, your SME customers are able to adopt specially pre-approved digital solutions for the respective sectors, and best part of it is that it will come with grant support. Regarding point 3, where can your SMEs customers get help? They can use CTO-as-a-Service to request for digital advisory and project management services, or approach the SME centers if they need or require business advice. Also, just to add, Start Digital, which was launched in January 2019, is meant to help guide new startups on the type of digital solution they should take on. It is a joint collaboration with IMDA, Enterprise, Singapore, telcos, and banks. So these 3 steps are the end-to-end process illustrated that SMEs can reference to start their digitalization journey or take the next steps to deepening their digital adoptions. Currently, we have a total of 20 IDPs for 21 ITM sectors launched to date, with the latest tourism IDP refreshed in November 2023. The Industry Digital Plan, IDP for short, is a step-by-step guide for SMEs. Within IDP, solutions are articulated across 3 different stages of business growth. The categorization of solutions for respective stages are based on global trending and validation studies with the sector agencies and industry to map out the type of solutions required by the businesses. This is so that SMEs are able to spot the solution which they need based on their stage of business growth. Building on the foundation established by the current IDPs, the new model will include refreshed solution suite offered under the digital solution roadmap. Number 2, integrated and advanced solutions to improve digital connectivity and deepen SMEs' digital capabilities. 3, a roadmap on cybersecurity and data protection measures. 4, expansion and updating of digital training roadmap to be aligned with the refreshed solutions under the digital roadmap and include change management. This is an example of the digital roadmap developed for the food services sector, which was refreshed in November 2022. It has taken into consideration trends observed in the sector, such as the shift in consumer behavior towards digital ordering, e-commerce, and food delivery, as well as assist F&B companies to overcome challenges. Once SMEs know what types of solution they require, they can choose from a list of pre-approved solutions for the respective sectors that they can adopt hassle-free, depending on their areas of need. SME customers are then able to enjoy funding support. Pre-approved solutions are pre-scoped with software subscription, hardware, professional services, and training required for automation of their operations. SMEs can apply for a pre-approved solution through Business Grant Portal and start the implementation with selected solution providers after the sector agency has approved the application. Currently, IMDA and sector lead agency have identified a demand from 20 sectors or subsectors, and IMDA is looking for digital solutions to meet the requirements of these sectors on the supply side. These solutions need to be proven and meet the criteria defined in the vendor self-assessment checklist. If you have a solution that corresponds to the criteria listed in the checklist, we welcome your submissions. Besides the sector requirements, there are also digital capability requirements that apply to all sectors. These are digital capabilities like cybersecurity, data analytics, PDP, and IoT to ensure completeness and robustness of the proposed solutions. Next is the pre-approval process for vendors. At stage 1, steps 1 to 3, vendors should self-assess their onboarding eligibility and solution eligibility before attempting to do a full submission. Do a pre-assessment of your proposed solution using the vendor self-assessment checklist to check that it fulfills the criteria that the respective sector is looking for. Always amend the vendor briefing. A gentle reminder that you must submit the completed checklist within 3 months of your company's attendance at the vendor briefing. And if your solution meets all the mandatory requirements, you may submit a completed checklist with all the necessary supporting documents. At stage 2, step 4 is the submission of document stage, where you need to tell us your solution. This is what IMDA is looking for. At stage 3, step 5 to 6, after IMDA assesses your submission, you may be invited for a tech demo session together with the sector lead, where you can demonstrate your solutions to them. Just to highlight, the lead time for step 2 and step 3 depends on the completeness of your solution, and the solution will be reviewed and processed upon completed submission. At stage 4, which is step 7, if your solution is shortlisted, you'll be requested to submit the application form via the pre-approval system. At this stage, IMDA will then review and at the same time provide guidance on your proposed price packages so as to assure that the package meets the scope of the requirements with clarity and SME customers can adopt the solution as hassle-free as possible. As you may be aware that the Productivity Solution Grant, PSG, supports companies keen on adopting IT solutions and equipment to enhance business processes. Hence, the pricing of the package must cater to micro SMEs and SMEs for easy adoption, and the solution should be scoped according to the purchase pattern of your customers. Do also note that the pricing has to be before GST. At step 8, you will know if your application is approved or rejected. Upon approval, IMDA will issue the letter of appointment for a period of 12 months. For step 9 and 10, vendor will need to accept the letter of appointment via the pre-approval system, and thereafter your solution will be listed on the respective government websites, and vendors may promote their market and sell their solution with grant support. Note that the lead time for step 4 to 7 is about 3 months. This is an overview of the vendor self-assessment checklist. There are 3 areas that IMDA is looking for in your submission. The first is vendor fulfillment of onboarding criteria. There are 9 criteria for the vendor to fulfill. These criteria will be explained in details in the next slides. Next, the desired features of your solution, and if your solution has the ability and features to meet the sector requirements. For example, a vendor providing HRMS solution needs to adhere to IRA's tax policies, such as the auto inclusion scheme. Accounting solutions, on the other hand, need to be listed on IRA's accounting software register, ASR+, prior to pre-approval. If your solution generates, sends, and receives digital invoices, then it needs to be PEPL ready, which is the e-invoicing standard for solutions which creates and update invoices and manages sales transactions to facilitate a seamless and faster process through adherence of a standard digital format. And lastly, your solution needs to be cloud-based. SaaS model is preferred. Please make sure that your solution meets all mandatory requirements and features prior to your solution. Next is the standards and best practices. IMDA will also assess whether your solution aligns with industry standards and best practices, such as, does your company have a trust mark for personal data protection? Examples of solutions which collect personal unique identifier are HRMS, workforce management systems, and visitor management systems. And for solutions that collect personal data information, such as NRIC, does the solution conduct security vulnerability assessment to ensure that any security loopholes are being addressed? As a first step, you may visit this link or scan the QR code to perform a self-assessment of your onboarding eligibility. After the self-assessment, if you are ineligible, please do not submit a vendor self-assessment checklist. You may read the FAQ or ask any questions during this vendor briefing to address your doubts. On the left-hand box, you can see the results demonstrating that you can meet the eligibility, while on the right-hand box, you can see the results demonstrating that you cannot meet the eligibility. These are the 8 pre-approval assessment areas, which is the vendor track record. Vendor must be able or capable of serving the SME market in Singapore. So the assessment areas are vendor track record, financial soundness, good track record with government agencies, and availability of resources and quality of services. Other assessment areas are in affordability, marketing resources, quality of solution, and productivity impact. If you are unable to meet any of the 8 assessment areas, please do not submit a vendor self-assessment checklist. If you can meet the onboarding criteria, you can visit IMDA ICM website and select a checklist based on where your solution best fits. Always check that you are using the latest version before submitting to IMDA. If you have downloaded a generic self-assessment checklist, you can see that there are 5 tabs. The first tab is the instructions. You should read and understand what is required of you. In the general assessment worksheet, you are required to self-assessment if you can fulfill the additional requirements. Take note that you have to complete the declaration on data analytics and personal data protection. If your solution captures personal data and/or have data analytics components, you are required to fulfill this requirement before submitting the checklist to IMDA. Take note that there are some requirements that go live from 1st December 2024 onwards. You are strongly encouraged to embark on fulfilling these requirements before the deadline. In the Solution Category Requirements tab, you will select a category that best suits your solution and self-assess if you can meet all the mandatory requirements. If you are unable to meet any mandatory requirements, please ensure your solution is able to meet before submitting a checklist submission to us. In the Satisfactory Survey tab, you will need to ensure that you have filled up the company UEN, company name, and solution name so that the link in the customer satisfaction survey will appear. Your customers will be brought to any SG form where they will fill up their company information and rate your services. Your customers would need to log in using their SingPass to complete the survey, to verify the inputs against the submitted reference invoices you will provide as part of the approval process. You should monitor the completion of these surveys with your customers directly. Once you have 5 completed customer surveys, input 5 to number of surveys completed. In the last worksheet, the overall dashboard gives you an overview of the Excel filing completion status. You should not submit if you see the red alert. Only upon seeing the green sign, then you should proceed to embark on the submission. While pending the completion of vendor self-assessment checklist, 5 customer surveys and all other documentation, you can perform the following. For new ICM vendors who do not have an account with us, you should go to CorpPass to assign the registered account SingPass holder with IMDA Media Service access rights. Note, you must grant access to 2 SingPass account holders. Then proceed to create an account in SGTech. Finally, you can embark on a draft submission where there are some more questions to fill up. If you need assistance, please download the manual to self-help. This slide shows the estimated timeline from attending the vendor briefing. A gentle reminder that you must submit the completed checklist within 3 months of your company's attendance at this vendor briefing, to step 7, which is the publication of solution on the website. Just to highlight, the lead time for step 2 and 3 depend on the completeness of your solution, and solution will be reviewed and processed serially upon completed submission. Note that the lead time for step 4 to 7 is about 3 months. Here are some of the FAQs you may have. Number one, what should I populate in the field for the 5 satisfied customer field? So this is a screen where you will input the 5 satisfied customer information. Note, if your customer has submitted their survey via SG form, please upload a blank file for the field survey form. You should proceed as per normal for the rest of the fields. Right? Can I submit this application without 5 survey completed? The answer is no. You have to indicate 5 completed surveys in the checklist. Next is the pre-approval process option for contract extension. The current appointment contracts is valid for 1 year, with the option to extend the contract for another year, subjected to IMDA and sector lead agency approval. To be eligible for a +1 year contract extension, vendors are required to have a minimum of 5 approved PSG applications, which is 5 adoptions recorded within the first 11 months of the existing contract period, and vendors should not have any outstanding complaints at the point of extension. Note that this criteria is subjected to changes and may vary across sectors. Lastly, I would like to highlight that the maximum contract period is 2 years, and upon contract expiry, vendors are required to submit the solution for approval again from step 1 to step 7. Note that no reminders will be provided prior to contract expiry, and vendors are advised to submit their solution for pre-approval 3 to 6 months prior to contract expiry. Here are the assessment areas for contract extension. You must have good track record with government agencies, industry relevance of solution, and no unresolved customer complaints. What if I received the notice of cooling period issued by IMDA? So the cooling period refers to a 1-year duration which a vendor who has failed to meet contract extension criteria, meaning no unresolved customer complaints and BGP application average review rating, or accumulated 3 or more warning letters, is required to wait before applying for a new contract. This period allows the vendor to address any deficiencies, improve operations, and demonstrate readiness before being considered for a new contract or renewal. IMDA suggests for any vendors given a cooling period to follow the points below. Next is the pre-approval vendor obligations and consequences. As an appointed vendor under the SMEs Go Digital program, we would like to share with you some group practices to maintain during your appointment period. The key areas are to drive SME digitalization using tools like CTO-as-a-Service, adhere to letter of appointments, terms and conditions, provide excellent customer support, and to build internal capabilities to ensure business continuity. The consequences of breaching a letter of appointments, terms and conditions is there are 4 possible consequences of breaches. First is the receipt of warning letters. Vendors may receive warning letters issued by IMDA or grant processing agencies like Enterprise SG. Number 2, suspension of listing on Business Grant Portal. Vendors may receive a letter of suspension issued by IMDA for repeated breaches of terms and conditions. During the suspension, the vendor may not be listed on Business Grant Portal nor receive option for extension. Point 3, 1-year cooling period. for those that receive more than or equal to 3 written warnings in any appointment year will be subjected to a 1-year cooling period. In the next appointment, if a written warning letter is issued, vendor will be terminated immediately and is required to adhere to another year of cooling period. Number 4, termination of your letter of appointment. Vendors who have committed severe breach or multiple breaches of T&C may receive a letter of termination by IMDA. The vendor is required to adhere to a year of cooling period. Staying compliant with the terms and conditions is important. So do not offer incentives. Do not be directly involved in PSG applications and claim submission. Ensure your service delivery team keeps to customer commitments and delivers in adherence with Annex 3. Comply with advertising or marketing guidelines, and issue invoices and quotations that match with Annex 3. Please communicate the above information to your sales team, project team, current and future customer bases. We would like to remind all vendors not to breach the IMDA pre-approval program terms and conditions by performing impersonation. Impersonation is a serious offense that can result in termination or suspension of your appointment. Some examples of impersonation is pretending to be an employee of an SME to contact Enterprise SG to find out grants approval process and or applying for BGP grants. Please communicate the above information to your sales team, projects team, current and future customer bases. These are 2 FAQs that you would need. If my customer has given me consent to follow up on their behalf, is this permissible? No, it is not permissible for vendors to follow up on behalf of their customers, even if the customer has given explicit consent. Terms and conditions prohibits vendors from applying or making claims relating to any government grants on behalf of their customers or managing any contact details and email accounts provided by their customers as part of their applications for government grants. Therefore, vendors should advise their customers to follow up directly with the relevant authorities or seek guidance from their supervisor or legal department. It is important to ensure that all actions taken are in compliance with the pre-approved at SMEs Go Digital vendor terms and conditions, as failure to comply with these terms can result in termination or suspension. The second FAQ question: where can SMEs get help if they need assistance in BGP matters? SMEs can receive help with BGP-related matters by reaching out to SME centers or contacting the relevant sector lead agency, such as Enterprise Singapore. They can visit the Enterprise SG website, fill out the Contact Us form, or call the hotline for assistance. These are the summary of common breaches, what is expected, respond to your customers' queries in a timely manner, and sell your solution in a fair manner. For advertising, what is expected is publishing factual information about the PSG program, keeping yourself updated on the changes to PSG program to reflect accurate data on your website, EDMs, or marketing collaterals. Retrospective BGP application, and what is expected is vendors and SMEs can commence work once BGP application is put forth. However, SMEs must be aware that if BGP application fails, there is an agreed resource. In the upcoming slides, I will be sharing on how the revised data analytics and personal data protection requirements in the vendor self-assessment checklist that you need to align your digital solutions to. The use of big data analytics is on the rise, and it will play a central role in business operations for years to come. The capability of businesses to leverage the data sets and information to make data-driven decisions will be a determining factor in their competitiveness both today and in the future. However, it is equally important for businesses to ensure that they have adequate security measures in place to protect the personal data in their possession to build customer trust and confidence. For SMEs with limited resources and lack of competency, it is challenging for them to get started on data use and protection. In order to help SMEs bridge these gaps, IMDA is looking at enabling responsible use of data through pre-approved solutions to help SMEs thrive in the digital economy. Embedding data analytics and personal data protection requirements in pre-approved solutions will benefit SMEs as it will allow easy access to the dashboards, visualization features to analyze data to improve business outcomes, and number two, built-in measures to better manage personal data protection risk. This will help to enhance SMEs' digital competency and safeguard their customers' personal data. Starting from 1st December 2024, all digital solutions must comply with the revised data analytics requirements to qualify for pre-approval at SMEs Go Digital program. Additionally, digital solutions that collect and store personal data must also adhere to the advanced personal data protection requirements. Failure to meet these requirements by the stipulated deadline may result in the delisting of standing pre-approved digital solutions. Most of the revised data analytics and personal data protection requirements should not be foreign to you, as they have been kept as preferred requirements to give a head start for some time. IMDA has also done a quick poll with the existing vendors and found that most digital solutions are able to meet the data analytics and personal data protection requirements. Most of the digital solutions will need to meet the two data analytics requirements, except for those in 3D modeling, immersive visualization and analysis, computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacturing, CAD or CAM, digital marketing packages, and document management system. For the digital solutions with personal data, please note that there is a total of 6 requirements that you will need to meet. This slide outlines the 6 personal data protection requirements. These requirements are not new, but they are now mandated, emphasizing the importance of integrating key protection measures such as encryption, multi-factor authentication, and backup in digital solutions to enhance protection of personal data and enable quick recovery in the event of a data breach. This shift from being preferred to being mandated signifies a heightened emphasis on data security and reliance in digital solutions. It is crucial for all digital solutions to comply with the data analytics and personal data protection requirements by 30th November 2024 to be eligible for pre-approval under the SMEs Go Digital team. As part of the declaration and validation process, you are required to complete an online declaration form with the necessary supporting documents prior to submitting your application to the SMEs Go Digital team. You can refer to the steps below on steps you need to do. First is to visit the link to view the list of mandatory data analytics and personal data protection requirements. Familiarize yourself with the specific requirements and guidelines outlined by IMDA. Note that your digital solution does not need to meet the personal data protection requirements if it does not collect, use, disclose, process, or dispose of personal data. Number two, you gather the necessary supporting documents such as images, screenshots, write-ups, or any other relevant materials that demonstrate how your digital solution meets the requirements and submit them via the online declaration form. After submission, IMDA will review and validate your submission. They may require approximately 2 to 4 weeks to complete the review process. Once your submission has been validated, IMDA will provide an email confirmation of compliance. And 4, upon receiving the confirmation from IMDA, attach the email confirmation in your application to the SMEs Go Digital team. Should you have any queries, please write into the email in the slides. Please refer to the link for a video briefing if you need more information on the requirements. Next is the SMEs Go Digital pre-approved solutions. Based on a checklist published on 9 May 2024, CSA Cyber Essentials Mark has been made a preferred requirement for vendors. Please refer to the link for a video briefing on the Cyber Essentials requirements. Next, we will be sharing on CTO-as-a-Service and introduction to SGTech. IMDA has developed a one-stop platform, a web application for SMEs to have quick access to various digitalization resources. SMEs can self-assess their digital readiness and receive a list of recommended solutions based on their business profiles. They can also search and compare the functions of pre-approved digital solutions and contact the vendors via this platform. In addition, CTO-as-a-Service connects SMEs to a shared pool of consultants for digital consultancy and project management services. IMDA has appointed Essential and Stone Forest to provide such services. SMEs can engage the digital consultants for guidance to better understand their business needs and priorities. Based on an in-depth needs analysis, the consultant will tailor digital solutions and training roadmaps for the company, which also references the industry digital plans available for the various sectors. The digital consultants would help SMEs manage the digital project implementation, which will take into consideration the impact on key stakeholders such as employees, customers, suppliers, and more. Eligible SMEs can enjoy free digital consultancy and project management services. You might ask, what are the benefits of this platform to approved solution vendors and the SMEs? For potential partners like yourself, upon approval by IMDA, your solutions will be more easily discovered and searched by SME end users on the platform. With platform enhancements currently underway, SME end users would soon be able to find ratings and read the reviews of the solutions available. This would instill confidence and trust in your solution. To SME end users, CTO-as-a-Service is a one-stop platform to address most of their digitalization needs. helping them make improved decisions faster. Here's a recap of the key features of CTO as a service. Please scan the QR code to access the platform and check out the various features after this session. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Adrian Long, who is part of our SMEs Go Digital Advisory Committee in SGTech. He will elaborate on how SGTech can help you and the industry on this program. Adrian, over to you.
Thanks, Pauline. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Nice meeting all of you. I will do a quick introduction of SGTech and also some of the programs we are organizing. So SGTech has been a leading association for Singapore tech industry. So we have representing more than 1,000 members company, ranging from top MNC, local enterprise, large local enterprise, and also SMEs and innovative startup. So it's the largest community in Singapore where companies converge to advocate for change and also drive, which enables tech innovations and accelerates tech adoption to spur greater sustainability in the sector itself. So SGTech mission is to catalyze a thriving ecosystem that powers Singapore as a global tech powerhouse. So the two strategic trusts for SGTech, basically the trust one is to position Singapore as a global node for digital and data, and builds on trust. And the trust two is to take collective action and be part of the solution to Singapore and also the global sustainability. So underpin these two strategic trusts and all our business activity is what we call the tech for talent for the tech industries. So in terms of member engagement, so we have the steering committee, which is comprising of two key areas, sustainability and talent. And we have various chapters for you to choose from. So we have the AI, high performance computing, cybersecurity chapters, cloud data center, digital transformation chapters, digital trust chapters, and Singapore enterprise chapters, smart nation chapters, and EdTech committee, and platform companies committee also. Then we had the advisories committee itself. We had the data protection advisory, digital and trust center of excellence advisory, government procurement advisory, next gen network advisory, and SMEs Go Digital advisory. So being a member of the SGTech, we have one options to choose one of the chapters or committees to participate in. You can add on more chapters if you need to. So as I mentioned just now, as you can see, AI and high performance computing chapters. So actually bringing those people in the AI business and then trying to increase the adoption and create awareness of the data ethics, governance of AI and opportunities itself. The cybersecurity chapters is to actually promote awareness and adoption of cybersecurity among organizations in Singapore, and also to boost a pipeline of talents to ensure that the continual priority of Singapore's cybersecurity industry itself. Cloud and data chapters basically to build industry capabilities by facilitating awareness of new cloud technologies, related standards, and access to new markets, and then to enable organizations to develop a competitive advantage by harnessing the power of cloud data and analytics itself. There's a new chapters called data center chapters. It says to drive more efficient data center industry as part of the green in digital infrastructure required to support the continual digital growth of Singapore. And we had the digital transformation chapter is to accelerate innovations and drive the successful digital transformation of Singapore business itself. Then we had the digital trust chapter also. It's also a new chapter to develop a new digital trust industry that act as a catalyst for deeper collaboration between companies and countries, and also establish Singapore tech industry as a leader in digital trust technology. And the Singapore Enterprise chapters is basically to promote and build an active, healthy ecosystem of pro-tech SME that is viable for Singapore digital transformation. So that this chapter encompasses not only the tech solutions company itself, but it's also including also non-tech solution, non-tech company itself who wanted to have inspirations to adapt technology in their work processes. Then we have the Smart Nation chapters and also the EdTech community chapters. And the last one is actually the platform companies platform committee to promote tech industry response on the strengthening of protection for platform workers in order to support the development of the platform economy. So here we mean by platform is actually digital platform itself. So our dedicated advisory group basically helps to study issues and also develop recommendation within their specialized areas. So we had the data protection advisory, basically to uplift the awareness and adoption of new data protection, as well as data innovation development in Singapore. Then we had the Digital and Trust Center of Excellence Advisory, basically to act as a foundry for trusted related knowledge, best practices, and policy in the digital ecosystem at the regional and also global scale. So our advisory members are experts from international organizations at the forefront of digital and trust dialogue. And their collective insight helps SGTech to demonstrate Singapore's growing role as a global digital trust leader. And government procurement advisory basically is to engage the GovTech in conversations on government procurement policies, regulations, in order to ensure government industry partnership and drive a mutually beneficial outcome. Then we have the next gen network advisory, basically is a front runner for innovation in secure and resilient 5G application and services, and also to promote and create awareness of latest technology by working closely with end user, technology provider, integrator, consultant, trade association, institution, and government agency. And SME Go Digital Advisory formed in support of the SME Go Digital program to augment the government effort to encourage the listing of tech solutions by tech enterprise and also help to spur the digital transformation across various industries. So the program you attend today is basically organized by the SME Go Digital Advisory itself. So what's the benefit of being an SGTech membership? So you provide a seat, a table for trusted voice and committed enabler for advocacy. So your voice will be heard by policies makers, regulators, and then we will also provide you the expert guidance on government structures, programs, and policies. Then you have a lot of business opportunity to be able to access to local and global business matching opportunity, and also to build capabilities in talent, sustainability, digital transformation, and trust itself. And you have a broad opportunity to expand your network with key industry players, government representatives, and businesses beyond the tech sectors also. So exclusive benefits you can actually enjoy up to 70% cost saving on SGTech program and events, and participation in 4 flagships events and 40 plus networking sessions annually. So you also have opportunity to showcase your products and services through the platform, and also to form new partnership and with other members as the tech partners. So you also will be able to access to international programs for business expansion. And definitely special rates will be catered for local exhibition and also overseas business trip itself. So we have an interesting program on every month basis. So we have the first Monday being a Members Day, meant for member socializations. And second Tuesday, it will be the Tech Talent Day, targeting at non-tech players to help them in their digital transformation processes. And the third Wednesday is basically covers the Workforce Wednesday for tech talent-related programs. And the fourth Friday caters for what we call the Founders Days. So that's basically related to the startup related issues, and also members within the startup areas to mingle around and to form partnership itself. So you can see from here, we have more than 1,001 plus influential tech companies were on board with us. Then we have another program we call Tech Partners. Basically, is to establish new partnership with vendors itself. So including tech partnership, also to form a reseller and distributor partnership and strategy alliance. So the recent tech company that leverage on tech partners, we have Tencent Cloud, Oracle, and Fujifilm Asia itself. So on board this tech partners platform, for SGTech member will be complimentary. As a non-SGTech member, it will be about $1,070, including GST, to participate in this tech partners platform itself. So we are reachable by different means, through LinkedIn and also to Facebook itself. So as also to stay updated with industry events and latest news and industry research, and also tech trends itself. So that's about it of that spread up what SGTech can offer to you, and I encourage you to join us as a member and enjoy the various benefits, including to write together on the digital transformation wave itself. So you can hook on this QR code and sign up as a member today. Okay. Thank you very much. I will pass over to Pauline. Thanks, Pauline.
Thank you, Adrian. We have now come to the FAQ segments of the briefing. Before we open the floor for questions, let me go through some of the common FAQs we have received. Question 1, my solution is a proven solution used by many MNCs, government agencies, and/or SMEs from other countries for many years, but I do not have any local SME customers. Can I submit my solution for pre-approval? The answer is no. You will need to provide customer references from your local SME customers. These 5 satisfied local SMEs must not be subsidiaries and affiliated to one another. As part of the evaluation, we need to assess if your solution can fully meet the needs of local SMEs and that your company has the necessary track record, such as sales and after sales, in serving local SMEs. Question 2 is, why are five satisfied customers required? They are required to show that the solution has good track record in the industry and is able to deliver the intended outcome. Preferably, the customers need to be live users instead of trial, beta, or pilot who have used the solution for more than 6 months. So these are the 2 questions that is under the 5 satisfied customers FAQ. Next, on question 3, my solution has been very established, but has yet to launch locally. Would my overseas clients be qualified as part of the satisfied customers? The answer is no. The 5 satisfied customer submission have to demonstrate their solutions are implemented locally. Question 4, for how long must the satisfied SMEs be using my solution before they are qualified to fill up the customer satisfactory survey? The 5 satisfied local SMEs must have used your solution for at least 6 months and not more than 18 months, and still using the solution as at the date of your submission. Question 5, how do I know whether my 5 satisfied customers are SMEs? The customers need to fulfill the following criteria as SMEs. Number 1, the revenue group annual sales turnover should not exceed 100 million, or group employment size of not more than 200 workers. And secondly, at least 30% local shareholding must be held by Singaporeans or Singapore PRs. Question 6, my solution is a software as a service that anyone in the world can sign up and use, including SMEs in Singapore. I have more than 5 satisfied Singapore SME customers. My company can provide 24/7 customer support, meaning in phone support and email from outside of Singapore. Can I submit my solution for pre-approval? The answer is currently we are unable to pre-approve solution vendors that have no presence in Singapore. You must either set up a local office or partner a local reseller to offer your solution. Your local office or partner may submit the solution for pre-approval if it meets all the mandatory requirements stated in the vendor self-assessment checklist. Question 7. My solution meets the requirements of multiple solution categories in the vendor self-assessment checklist. Which checklist must I submit? My solution meets the requirements of multiple solution categories in the vendor self-assessment checklist. May I submit more than one solution for pre-approval? The answer to those is if your solution meets the requirements of multiple solution categories, you may choose to submit multiple vendor self-assessment checklists for your solution to be pre-approved under the respective solution categories. Each submitted checklist must come with its own set of supporting documents, as is specified in the checklist, such as 5 satisfied customer surveys and invoices. Question 8, my solution is widely utilized by SMEs in many industries, but it is not listed in any of the solution categories in the checklist. Is my solution eligible to be pre-approved under SMEs Go Digital program? The answer is IMDA works with respective sector agencies to create the types of digital solution which benefit the SMEs within the industries. As long as your solution fulfills the criteria within the checklist, we welcome your checklist submission with all the supporting documents. Question 9, is hardware bundled within packages applicable for grants? In general, commodity hardware, such as desktop, computer, laptops, or tablets that is widely available for purchase in the market is not supportable by the grant. In some solution categories, specialized hardware needed for the solution to properly function may be supportable. Some are, for example, vehicle tracking device in fleet management solution, video camera in surveillance and analytics, and retail analytics solution, sensor in bin monitoring and management solutions. Question 10, I am a reseller of a proven solution, for example, SAP Business One, Xero, QuickBooks, and etc., and is already pre-approved under PSG. Can I still participate in the program? Yes, we are looking at track records of both solution and service support rendered by the digital solution providers. Principal solution provider may be an appointed vendor with the same solution. You can still participate in SMEs Go Digital program as long as on-board requirements are fulfilled. Question 11, my company doesn't require audited financial statement. Would management accounts be sufficient for submission? Yes, please provide the endorsed management accounts with the company stamp and ACRA director's signature. Question 12, what is the definition of positive net equity? Net equity is the total assets minus total liabilities. Is in the latest audited financial statement or endorsed management account have to demonstrate positive value. Question 13, my company's latest financial statement is a loss, whereas the previous year was a profit. Is my company eligible to submit a checklist? Yes, as long as the net equity is positive based on the company's latest financial statement. Question 14, my company doesn't have a physical company stamp. Do you accept digital company stamp? The answer is yes, we accept. And question 15, how much will the qualifying cost for my solution? The qualifying cost varies based on the solution category you are applying for. Before your submission, please ensure all these points are addressed. To recap, this is the onboarding requirement to get your pre-approved solution approved by IMDA. With effect from now, all new contracts will be approved to a 1+1 year contract appointment. After you get approval, your solution will be listed on the Business Grants portal for your SME customers to apply for grant support. You can ask your SME customer to find out about their eligibility by contacting the number stated or email directly for advice.